in wrestling, obviously, there's this thing where people like you can give people receipts.
Yes.
My question to you, I want to get your take on something, but I want to ask like one of your receipt stories.
Sure.
Did you happen to catch the Rogers Jackson situation?
Yeah, I did. It's a horrible situation.
Is as much as it is his fault, mainly 100% it is his fault. How much of that lies on the promotion? Well,
I heard a few takes on the scenario, and I think my take is there should be, and there generally is, a high level of training that goes into someone's... We have to make sure that someone is ready to be able to go out there and do what we do safely.
And if they're cameoing.
Not even. Just when you're starting out as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Safety's the number one thing.
Yeah.
And some places are better at it than others. I remember when I was coming up in Riot City, safety was like the number one thing. You weren't allowed to do things that the very experienced coaches didn't feel they were comfortable with you doing. So that's just the bare minimum of what we do as pro wrestlers. So when you bring somebody else in and they don't have a background in what we do, they don't understand the overall etiquette and everything of what we do, then you're setting yourself up for, something to go wrong in general. But what he did, I think he had a statement to make, and he had an agenda with what he was doing.
He premeditated. He was talking about how he was going to do it on
That's
stream.
What I'm saying. So I don't think that what I said to the precursor to that is a separate point.
Yeah.
Just in general, we need to be really careful with how we conduct ourselves on a show and just in training schools and all that sort of thing. But that was a completely that was an anomaly for sure.
Yeah.
Like that seemed like something pretty serious was going on in his head at that time when he did that, and I don't fucking condone any of that shit. It was disgusting and vulgar.
It was like 22 unanswered fucking blows, man.
Fucked.
That's attempted murder.
Exactly. And it's like this guy didn't deserve that no matter what the fucking...
He said sorry to him, and
correct.
they hashed it out once it's done that.
Even if he didn't, right? Even if he didn't, you've preconceived a spot in the back that you're going to do, right? That person's putting their safety in your hands, and you take liberties like that. There's just no excusing it at all. And, I hope that some fucking peace can be found in the entire scenario, but, whatever justice that needs to be served should and probably will be served. And I just hope that the poor dude that got his fucking head punched in is okay and is gonna, have a fucking speedy recovery. You know what I mean? Because, dude, like, you follow fucking fighting and you see, like, when
that was brutal for me to watch.
When ILIA knocked out Charles, right?
That was fucked.
And the first punch was the fight was over.
Yeah.
Right? Let alone, he caught him with a fucking left hook on the way down, and then his chin hit his knee on the way down, and then the back of his head smashed into the ground, and that wasn't even the end of it. It took another 3 or 4 fucking clean punches to the face while he was already on the ground, and you see him go stiff, right? That's in a professional MMA fight where there's a referee in between you. And it's like, how quickly can the fucking ref get in to stop that fight? Yeah. So you got a guy who's, not that whether he's trained or not bears any fucking relevance to the situation, but like, this guy's a pro wrestler and he's been fucking dumped on his head and then punched multiple times unanswered. It's just horrible. So there's just no excuse for it. There's no answer to it at all.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Do you have a particular moment when you were coming up where you received your first, like, oh fuck, I deserve that?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to name names because it just doesn't do anyone any good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've in training, on shows.
Can you just explain for people what I'm saying when I use the term give someone a receipt?
Okay, so like a receipt can be for any particular reason. A receipt can be because you intentionally or unintentionally stiffed someone first. And what I mean by stiffed is like you might punch them or give them a move or something that like actually caused them some damage or hurt them. Generally, it comes in the way of strikes. So like it might be a punch that connected a little too hard, and it might have been intentional, it might have been unintentional, but there's just this kind of culture in wrestling which I hope goes away, and I think should go away, where the person on the receiving end now is owed a receipt where they can give you one back. You know what I'm saying? And obviously there's exceptions to every rule. Like there are certain guys who I might have built up a rapport with that I've wrestled on a number of occasions, and I trust them, and I know that we can go in there and be a little bit more physical than with other people. But that comes at from building a relationship. But I remember very early in my training, I was training at a different school, and the guy that was running the training, I don't know why. I don't know if it was intentional or not or whatever. I kind of, looking back, I feel like maybe it was because of just how like kind of point blank it was. And he was demonstrating like a punch, and he just absolutely clocked me, like closed fist, hard as he could, straight on the fucking jaw, rocked me. And it was like, that's not how you execute a strike, first and foremost. Yeah. Even when you are demonstrating it, it would have looked good because it was a proper fucking punch. And I remember like my knees wobbled and my jaw hurt for a week. And I remember like just kind of feeling a bit hazy in the head, like would have had a concussion for sure. But that one was pretty shitty. I was probably only like 20 at the time. And then I've had guys in matches maybe get a bit shitty about something going awry in a spot, or maybe they're just not liking the pace that I'm working at. Or
do you work at a pretty high pace?
You can. Depends on who you're working with.
Yeah.
Sometimes like if you're not on the same page physically or like mentally, maybe things aren't going at the rate they need to, or maybe the audience aren't responding in the way that you need them to. And a guy might, get a bit, he might feel that he needs to assert himself as, I don't know, the dominant force in the match, or maybe as the more experienced person in the match. And sometimes their way of doing that is by waking you up a little bit, I've actually been in scenarios where I feel that I need to wake up a little bit, and I've asked people to just put me in a corner and give me a couple of chops, because it's almost like a fucking defibrillator.
Yeah. Just feeling flat.
Yeah.
You need to get fucking into
Fire
it.
up a little bit, Now, I am not a receipt giver. I don't believe in it. I've never given someone a receipt. I've been rough with people, but safely. And I just don't like to be on the receiving end of that kind of thing, so I don't feel that I should be the person that dishes it out. I've also been in scenarios where people have gotten very angry after matches over something that's gone wrong or something that's happened in the ring, and they feel incumbent on themselves to be overly like aggressive and like angry and assertive at backstage after the fact on some sort of fucking moral high ground. It's just like, we make mistakes,
Yeah.
We're infallible.
You're all learning too.
We're all learning, and you're learning too. It's like, I will cop it on the chin if it's someone who's fucking earned their stripes in the biz. You know what I mean? And that's just the nature of the game. Sometimes you got to fucking cop it. But when it's people that are just not like at that level, and they just feel the entitlement to be able to fucking lambast people backstage because something's gone mildly wrong in a match, it's just like, I just have never taken that approach. Maybe one of the only times that I've gotten like super fired up and pissed off after a match was just when I was trying to articulate something that I felt had gone wrong, and everyone was just kind of not listening, and not taking accountability for their part. It's probably the one and only time I've gotten really pissed off with people, but I just don't really believe in that type of communication, and I'm not perfect. I can be short-tempered just in life sometimes. I don't know why, I don't know where it comes from, but I just try to like check that, especially now, You know, at the age I'm at, with the amount of experience I have, I just don't think it's helpful, unfortunately. So yeah, receipts are an unfortunate thing. And like, I don't want to name names, but I've had like a barrage of strikes that are like receipts.
You must just have that face for it.
I think no. I know the exact reason why it happens.
Yeah.
And I apologized after.
Yeah.
But it was
Is it just roughness within like the match?
No, I'm talking like I didn't sell something the way that I was supposed to.
Okay.
And the
selling's a really important part of wrestling as well, isn't it?
I didn't sell something how I was supposed to, and the consequences to that was, all right, well, I will make you sell. And yeah, it was gnarly. You should have seen how I looked after.
Yeah, that's fucked. I guess
it happens, man.
Selling's like a really important part of wrestling. You have
it's everything.
And was that something that you had to work on as like a younger wrestler? Was that like one of your weaker points?
Well, there's selling physically, and then there's the psychology of selling. You know, so like selling physically is like in the actual moment when the thing's happening to you and how your actual body language and everything is. But then there's the psychology of selling is like why to sell what and when.
Yeah.
And where in the match and all that kind of thing.
Or else it diminishes it, like the effect of it.
Correct.
And for people who don't know, selling is like when you receive a very devastating blow or something, you will sell it, you will make it look like it has had the desired effect.
Correct. If nobody kicks out of a move, then it doesn't matter what the move is. That move is the most devastating move.